Hey everybody!
Oh, hey guys.
We're back here in the first real week of January.
Yes.
Yes, a week where more than like 5 comics come out. I
Look at
know.
all the comics. So many comics. So many.
It's really a lot.
You can see we're excited. Yes.
Yeah, even our video monkeys complain about how many comics we got here. So we should probably go ahead and get started. Casey, you want to get this kicked off?
Well, you know, as I am down a book from you guys, why don't we let Will start it off?
Me?
Here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll start it off. It's a really big week for AntMan, the littlest Marvel hero. Actually, he grows little. But anyway, as you know, this week it's like the AntMan movie trailer, our first look at Paul Rudd in costume, but it is also a brand new AntMan #1. This is Scott Lang. This is by Nick Spencer. I just read it. I laughed. There's so many funny cameos. It's Stature, Cassie Lang of Young Avengers. She's back. He goes on a very special assignment for Tony Stark, and it kind of sets the stage for this. If you're a fan of Nick Spencer's Superior Foes of Spider-Man, if you like Fractions, Hawkeye, I think you really love this book. I love the art by Ramon Rosanas as well. So yeah, it's an awesome. It's shrinking superheroes are really big right now.
And he doesn't go the other way, right? He doesn't get big.
He doesn't get big. He just small, and there's some really fun facts about ants that I never knew. So it's like a biology class. You could have this in the classroom. Nick Spencer, professor of comics and biology. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, really hoping that carries on the Superior Foes spirit. And I have got a Marvel book as well here. This is issue 3 of Bucky Barnes, The Winter Soldier by Arlish Kott and Marco Rudy. This is sort of continuing the storyline of the planet Ventolin, which we saw in the first issue. They were just, you know, casually observing universes being born and ending and really big cosmic stuff like that. And Bucky has returned from his sort of sojourn into Asgard and the sort of mind-bending little encounter that he had with old King Loki, who's imprisoned there, as you'll know from reading the Loki Agent of Asgard series.
Wait, old King?
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
It's a whole thing, man.
wait,
That's really happening.
All right.
But this has as much beautiful, well, actually, no, not as much beautiful art from Marco Rudy as you would hope. There are a few fill-in pages by Michael Walsh, Arlish Kott's collaborator on Secret Avengers, but it ties in really well with the, you know, the sort of varying styles that Marco Rudy usually pulls here. It takes a nice muted break from that for a few pages for Michael Walsh to step in.
And your brain to relax.
Yeah, just sort of calm down and take everything in.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to break the mold here and not talk about the Marvel book that I was going to talk about. I know I'm clearly not getting the royalty check this week from Marvel. Or I guess Disney it would be. Right. New from Archaia and Boom, which has obviously let Archaia publish single issues, which are very nice. They're kind of got like a thick card stock. They got a little caption on the back, like what it's about. How many times you go into the comic book store, you look at it, you're like, this is kind of cool. You flip it over, and it's an ad for Harley Davidson. You're like,
there's LeBron James.
Or
Okay.
LeBron James. You know, you don't really care what LeBron has to say. Well, maybe you do, but whatever. But this is by Jorge Corona. And this is a all-ages kind of fantasy, urban fantasy adventure about a young boy named Poe who has lived in this city called the Maze all his life. And the Maze is kind of like this nasty, you know, shanty, not like shanty town, but I mean it's heavily, densely packed. Lots of little entryways and outways and stuff. And he's a young boy who's covered in feathers. And so he kind of, you know, he's not like a superhero or anything, but he has like a bit of a costume and you know, goes around. And there's a young girl, Bianca, who grew up in the wealthy part of town, and when their two worlds collide, a friendship is formed that will help them go upon this adventure that they have to go, where they will find themselves and, you know, find the things that they're looking for in the other people, that kind of thing. You know,
Probably the power of friendship.
The power of friendship, you know, they might fall in love. Who knows? But it looks really fun, so.
My next pick is Operation Sin #1. And I haven't figured out what the pseudonym is for, but it's kind of the beginning of their shield. Peggy Carter is back on TV this week in a brand new Agent Carter series, and she is also back here along with Howard Stark and the mysterious man, mystery man from Original Sin, who was the guy before Nick Fury on his Mysterious World and before Bucky Barnes.
Yep.
So this is an awesome story set in the 1950s in Cold War Russia.
Ooh, it's all 50s
It's
stuff?
all
Cool.
50s stuff. When this
Ooh.
when this weird alien artifact pops up, and it's, you know, Peggy Carter and Howard Stark versus kind of a fairly new Hydra in Cold War Russia, and it's Catherine Eminem, who worked on Journey into Mystery and a great Hellcat series, and Rich Ellis is a great artist. So Operation Sin #1, staying with Peggy Carter.
Yeah, if you really liked Jonathan Hickman's Shield with the Howard Stark and Nathaniel Richards stuff, this is definitely a spiritual successor to that.
Well, and that may actually come out. I mean, the
Ooh,
art's done.
Yeah, it's gonna get finished eventually. Maybe,
I
hopefully.
don't know.
I don't know. It might have competition with that other Shield book.
Yeah, right.
And I have got a book, also not from Marvel. Finally, I've gotten to something that's not Marvel.
Are you gonna take the cut too, man? You don't need that extra money this week?
Hey, I got another one on deck.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
all right.
This is from Dark Horse, the first issue of Joelle Jones' Lady Killer.
The
I don't know,
the
is
cover
Jamie Rich
alone
writing
is
this?
yeah.
We'll say
he's
yes.
helping write it.
Jamie Rich does what he does.
This is a series about, you know, as you would probably figure, a housewife, a mother, a murderer. I'm not entirely sure what the specifics are. It seems like there's some dark past here, maybe some sort of spy.
It's probably like Serial Mom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that it's really close to Serial Mom.
John Waters, but even more graphic.
I haven't seen that one.
I
haven't seen it. I know what it is.
Dude,
Come
I have
on.
no comment. There was no
Okay.
comment there.
Moving on.
There was not
This
a
is
single
beautiful.
comment.
It's awesome. If you liked Helheim at all, you'll want to follow her art on here because it's a lot more refined. It's less of the scratchy hugeness and more exaggerated realism, I guess.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's
creepy.
Real creepy.
But stuff like this is always creepy to me. Yes. I'm a corporate whore. I'm sorry. Marvel Comics.
Great book.
Iron Fist. Kara Andrews. We're what now? 8 issues in. Still one of the best books Marvel's publishing. In fact, now that She-Hulk and Ghost Rider have been canceled, this is up there in the top 3. And as Morgan pointed out earlier, Kara Andrews may be the first man to put actual Iron Fists on Iron Fist.
Yep.
Which, really? You didn't do this before? The 70s happened?
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
this didn't
that's
happen?
such a no-brainer.
Really? So, yeah.
And this guy writes, draws, does the covers,
colors,
does
inks,
does everything.
everything.
He could probably sell the commercials.
Oh!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh!
New redesign alert! If you're still getting over the Spider-Woman costume, the Batgirl costume,
Right?
you're not even ready for this.
We're gonna kick that out the water. Damn.
Wow.
You guys come and get your Iron Fist tomorrow.
Seriously, that's the book to watch.
Yep.
Oh, I'm in shock here. Cause
I know, man. It's all right.
Okay. A big shout out to Seattle's own G. Willow Wilson. Not only did she launch...
is that the first issue?
This
Oh,
is
great.
the first issue. The woman who gave us the new Miss Marvel is taking on the all-female X-Men book. This is a 4-issue story called The Burning Earth. And it's cool because it's the all-female X-Men, but she's got some of the guys have a guest starring in there. And the whole idea is, what if... it's kind of this what is that cool thing you hip guys do in the desert?
Burning Man?
Burning Man! Okay, gosh. I'm talking about, so there's some kind of weird Burning Man event, and something really strange happens, and so it's this whole, is the Earth the enemy and all kinds of weird stuff, and of course, how is it going to affect Storm, and her powers are tied to the Earth, but it looks really cool. Roland, I hope I said this right, Boshi, who did the Bitter March Winter Soldier. He's the artist on this.
Oh, he did,
but
didn't he? Yeah.
we are very excited to promote Seattle's own G. Willow Wilson. Thank you for taking on the X-Men.
And finally, a female writer
I was
writing
gonna
the
say,
all.
I know about that. Yeah.
God.
About time.
Another huge no-brainer event.
Exactly.
Both for Marvel.
Oh, hey, speaking of Marvel, wow. You may have heard a bit about this. This is the Amazing Spider-Man, number 12, part 4 of Spider-Verse. Rich Johnson said that the internet would blow up over this. And it probably will. Not over the final page like he said, but of the fact that the best Spider-Man from the entire multiverse is finally making an appearance in this series.
And no, it's not Spider-Punk. We know that was your first thought.
Spider-Ham?
It's okay.
It's not manga Spider-Man.
It's not
I'm not
Peter-
even going to tell you who it is. You just gotta buy the comic. You will know when you see it. You will know.
Peter Porker?
Oh, he was already there.
Oh, okay, so
he's been there.
That's right.
Oliver Coipel did the best Peter Porker in years.
Yes, it did.
But that was nothing compared to what's in this issue. Nothing.
More comics from Marvel. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, number 1. Yeah, Squirrel Girl. Yes, she has her own theme song. It's not as cool as Next Wave, but nothing is cool. Ryan North, fresh off of Adventure Time, he finally got enough money from them and was like, I'm done. I'm moving on. Hopefully we might see some dinosaur comics soon, but we will at least see this. There were no dinosaurs in this first issue, which I was kind of disappointed with, but there's a lot of squirrels. And there's Craven, who's always really funny. And what does Craven like to do? Mess with college kid class schedules. Why?
Who knows?
God. But this is really trying to, I mean, as you can see from the cover, this is going to be your fun, adventurous type of book, type of like Batgirl, Gotham Academy, that type of thing.
A comedy book at Marvel?
A comedy comic at Marvel? I give it 4 issues.
No, I'm just saying, if you make
With a female lead, 5 maybe.
Yeah, if you make this a success, can a reunion of the Great Lakes Avengers be far behind?
Please.
Yes,
Come on.
Please.
Yes, I love the Great Lakes Avengers.
Speaking of weird, crazy teams, Wolverines, the death of Wolverine was not the death of Wolverine because this is a brand new weekly series by Charles Soule, Nick Bradshaw. I think that Ray Fox is going to be working on this as well. The way it was set up, Wolverine is dead, but Daken, X-23, Sabretooth, Mystique, God, how can I? She's gonna kick my ass right now. She's gonna
And some loser nobody knows about from Weapon X.
Right.
And all these guys that Charles Soule created in Weapon X, they're kind of on this mission. They're kind of all tied together on this weird kind of mission that involves the remains of Wolverine and these weird words that could like trigger and kill people. And then, but out of it, there's a crazy villain that pops up, and somebody just really unexpectedly messed up in this. So I'm not sure how it's gonna, we'll see what happens from there.
Right.
But anyway, Wolverine's #1. The Logan family continues. Da-da-da.
And finally, DC gets a say this week. I have got for you the collected edition of Sinestro, the greatest lantern in the universe. This collects the first, 5 issues, plus the Villain Month special, plus the Future's End special, mostly by Cullen Bunn. The ongoing series is Cullen Bunn, drawn by Dale Eaglesham and Rags Morales. Honestly, if you're still missing DC Cosmic, the great days of Jeff Johns on Green Lantern, this is where you're going to find a follow-up to it. Some people haven't been super, into where the direction that Green Lantern's gone, but this, always trust Sinestro. He is right, basically.
Trust or fear him, one or the other.
Mostly the second one. Of course, he's a fictional character, so,
Well, yeah. And my last pick for this week, Casanova. #2. So nice. And this one,
Beautiful.
Fabio Moon. Now, I love Gabriel Ba. I do. But Gabriel Ba, where he's all angry, Fabio Moon is all smooth, like Fabio, yes. Like his flowy blonde hair.
Wow.
This really focuses on Zephyr, who is the sister. Way cooler character in my opinion. She's badass. Probably one of my favorite female characters next to Ms. Misery out of Sleeper by Brubaker. But this has got the recolored stuff, unfortunately, from Marvel. But all the back matter from the Image stuff, which is excellent, plus new annotations from Fraction, I guess now 5 years later after he wrote this. But if you do not have these, you must buy this. Yes. Yeah, Casanova. And there'll be new Casanova in 2 weeks. Holy shit. Oh, I can't say that. 2 weeks. I'm excited.
Somehow I still have one more book.
So does
Yeah,
Morgan.
me too.
You go first. You go.
Okay, sure. I have not just
book.
one, but 2 collections of cosmic goodness for you. This from Fantagraphics is The Spawn of Mars. Yes, The Spawn of Mars. Sorry, I just really like that name. This is collecting the legendary Wally Woods sci-fi work for EC Comics. It's the latest in their series of classic EC library editions. Beautiful, beautiful trade dress, and I mean, it's Wally Wood. If you don't know who the man is, there is something wrong with you. You need to buy this. It is the medicine that you need. Honestly. It's just some of the most beautiful work you will ever see in your life in a comic book. I
don't even really need you to
Yeah.
You need me to say anything else. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Say it one more time, Spawn of Mars.
Spawn of Mars, Spawn of Mars, Spawn of Mars.
There you go. While we're our
Beetlejuice
our
thing?
final, our final book,
Like, wait a minute.
keeping the cosmic up, Legendary Star-Lord by Sam Humphries. I really like the fact that Kitty Pryde has kind of moved on from Colossus and Iceman, and she is hanging out long distance, but they make a love connection this week with Legendary Star-Lord. She's out to rescue him from Mr. Knife. We now know who the mysterious Mr. Knife really is, and there's a very infamous supervillain involved with a connection here. And it's all building up to the big storyline called the Black Vortex later this year with Guardians of the Galaxy, All New X-Men, Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, Nova, anybody cosmic plus X-Men, and Cyclops. So I love them together. I think they're a lot of fun. And Sam Humphries brings a lot of cosmic fun and space piracy lunacy to this. So there you go.
Cool. So yeah, see, we told you we had a lot of comics.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a lot of comics.
Yeah, hopefully you're going to have a lot of comics. But yeah, I guess that's about it for this week. We will be back next week, as usual, with hopefully as many comics that are as shiny. Yes. And smell good, because they always do.
Gotta bring it back to that.
Yep. Sport 'em